Hello, my name's Greg Hunt. I'm with Proxima Centauri. We're making this video to show a control center for a water system. We're pretty excited about it. It's pretty innovative. We're going to show it to you and then we're going to demonstrate it a little bit. So I'm going to move in a little bit. These are O-ring fittings. That's 1/4-inch NPT pipe thread for a switch. That's a 1/4-inch NPT female for a gauge. And that top half of that is Delrin. And let me unplug this. We'll take that apart. There's a double O-ring there to ensure sealing. If you look inside there, you can see a check valve. And then at the bottom side, you can see it's about a 3/8 inch hole. That's Delrin, that's PVC, and the inner guts is Delrin. So when you plug this together, that opens that check valve. So you got flow through their passageway. You put that clip on there. That's a stainless steel clip. It takes a little finger pressure to get that closed. And it can't come out. This can't come apart. So what you do is you're going to install this thing. You're going to put this switch on there and you're going to screw that down. And that's going to seal against that O-ring there. That's the reason you don't need any, about this much. Tighten that up about that much. That's why you don't need any thread sealant, Teflon tape, any of that type of stuff. So you put the gauge in, and same thing, that screws in real easy. Screw that in. You can feel that touching the O-ring, and then you just go about that much again. And when that's hooked on, it becomes a swivel. If the gauge doesn't read in the right spot, you can move that around with your flex conduit or however you want to do that. So if you want to put this into, that's PVC to glue into tank to T's and elbows, but if you want to put it in steel plumbing, copper plumbing, brass plumbing, you can get yourself a male adapter. We offer those two, 1/2 inch or 3/4, and then you would just glue that right in there. And then you're good to go. So we'll go back here, show a couple demonstrations back here. This tank's a little beat up. This is an old tank we summoned to do this project. We've all gone down to basements where they got carpet, finished flooring, trim, nice stuff, just stuffed in a closet. You gotta get a hose on a boiler drain and get it draining so you can check the bladder pressure. But then taking the switch off of a nipple or the gauge out or something like that, you gotta contain that water too. It's kind of a pain in the butt. But with this here and that check valve, when you open that up like that, it's super easy to undo the wires, take that off, put a new one on, same with the gauge, and plug it back in. While you're still trying to get some of the water out, then you can check the bladder pressure, and if you're good to go, you shut your boiler drain off and turn it on and check your control, and then you're back in business. And you haven't lost any water out on the floor of any kind. So these are really innovative. We hear a lot of good things about them. We have about 2,000 or 3,000 of these in circulation by local well drillers that say that's the most innovative thing they've seen in a long time, that they'd never go back to use another fitting. So we'll do a little demonstration under pressure here. So Chris, you can walk in here a little closer. This is one here is made for a switch. That's got the male and that's got the female, and these are sold in male and female and female, so you can use a pressure sensor or a transducer. And I don't think I touched on the Delrin. This is all Delrin. The inner workings is Delrin, and this plug that goes in there is Delrin. And Delrin is slippery, and it has a compaction PSI rate of similar to aluminum. It's pretty durable stuff. So we got them stainless steel fittings into that Delrin. And those are O-ring fittings underneath there, as well as O-ring fittings there. So you can see we got about 47, 48 PSI on there. Again, it takes a little finger pressure to get that off there. You hold that down, and you can watch that gauge come off there. And we've all done this where we have, drive's got some problems and you want to change the transducer or pressure sensor just to see if that's what the problem is, because sometimes these things have problems as well as those. It's real easy. Just undo your wires, unscrew that thing, stick a new one on. You haven't had to drain anything, and you can just plug it back in and to give it a try to see if that solves your problem. It's so easy to do. And you can watch, it takes a little bit of pressure to put that in, but not a serious amount. See that gauge go up? It's real easy to plug in. And then you put that back on there and take that, put your safety on there, and you're back in business. Like I say, they're good for transducers or pressure sensors. All I'm saying about transducers and pressure sensors, the thing about these is a lot of times when you have a transducer or a pressure sensor in a tank T, on a manifold, on a wall, however it may be, you can get some cross fluctuation and the drive does some of this stuff. And these here, they seem to help combat some of that, because there's that 3/8 hole I showed you at the bottom, then there's a water chamber up in there, and then it's going through a passage of the check valve. It kind of helps even out some of the up and down fluctuations, so they're good for that also too. What we hear a lot from different companies transitioned over to using nothing but these parts. They're like, God, that's so innovative. I can't even believe it's that easy. And they talk about some customer call up and say, my gauge, I'm reading 30 PSI, and you go out there and now you don't really want to drain the whole system down for that, because you put the gauge on 3 months ago and now they want you to come back, change the gauge. It happens, we all know that. You can just go out there, unclip that, pop that loose, change that gauge, put it back in, and you help the guy out. He's happy, he's got a new gauge on there, and you didn't even have to mess around with too much of anything. You just got her done that easy. That's quick. So I'm sure anybody watching this video might have a few questions. So I'm gonna talk about this a little bit. This is a flyer we have. Somebody would like to have one of these emailed to them, they can. And we have some other parts that we are innovative. Some of them are very good at slowing down fluctuation on drives. And you can see that information on YouTube. We have a website. So again, my name's Greg Hunt, and phone number is 219-4235. Feel free to give me a call or text me. Say, hey, give me a call. Either way, I'll do any of that. And that next line is our Gmail address. Feel free to email some information to that. And down here at the bottom, that's our website. So on that website, you can find us on Facebook or you can find us on YouTube. It would be greatly appreciated if you went there to watch some of the videos. If you would like it, put a comment in, any of that. Share it, would be greatly appreciated again. So we hope to hear from you, and these are pretty innovative parts. If you had an opportunity to try a couple, I think you'd like them, and we sure appreciate you watching the video, and feel free to give us a call. Thank you very much.